It's like a symphony of manipulating and spinning and flipping the cards in your hands. It's like each move inspires the next and you're not even thinking about it. The cards are dancing between the hands. They're spinning around, they're flipping over, they're doing things you wouldn't even expect them to be doing. It's just so surprising, almost magical. For as long as I can remember, we've always done things in tandem together. We both got into magic around the age of 12. We would go to the library and check out books by Dia Vernon, Guy Hollingworth. Just seeing the illustrations, we're like, wow, we can do this with playing cards. When we started practicing cardistry, it wasn't a thing. It has its roots in magic. It comes from card magicians who would use what is called a card flourish. And these were used to accentuate certain moments in a magic trick. So we took that and just ran with it. We were the first to embrace it and really focus on it and practice it as its own thing and promote it as its own thing. Cardistry is very much like skateboarding. You know, we practice these tricks until we have them down perfect. You know, we see other tricks and we're like, oh, we gotta learn that. You have 52 playing cards and the possibilities to maneuver those around are endless. You can hold a deck of cards in your hand and it's one solid block. Now imagine lifting up another block, so now you have two. Well, what can you do with those two blocks in your hands? Well, you can create more blocks, and we call those packets, and you can start maneuvering and spinning and flipping those packets between your fingers. It's hard, like it takes a lot of dexterity. It's all practiced, it's all rehearsed, and when you're truly a master, you can just start doing things on the fly and you don't even have to think about it. What kids are doing today with cards is mind-blowing. If you would have told me that when I was 14 years old, I would have been like, that's the coolest thing. I had no idea it could even be this big. The ultimate goal would be to get people to almost put cardistry first when they see a deck of playing cards. You know, it's no longer for games, it's no longer for gambling, it's cardistry.
Usually people are really confused when I tell them what I do. I tell them like, yeah, I own a fingerboard company. Like those tech decks you used to get in store? Like, yeah, but professional. Skateboarding makes me feel awesome. It doesn't get boring. It's always a challenge. There's no rules. Fingerboarding and skateboarding both have that. I started fingerboarding in 4th grade. I had a lot of fun playing with the tech decks, and then I wanted to kind of improve them. A lot of times the screws would come out, so I'd glue them in and just start modifying things like that. And I just realized I could make them better and better. A lot of kids wanted to buy them, so I kind of put a name on it, and it grew into this huge business over time. There's hundreds of thousands of people out there that are into this. We are at the Flat Face Rendezvous location in Dracut, Massachusetts, and it's pretty much a big building filled with fingerboard parks, and I do huge events here where kids fly in from all over the place to come and fingerboard together. When you go into a contest, it's crazy because there's stadium seating and there's everyone looking at you and lighting and cameras. My first few contests, I got crazy adrenaline rush. Like, you don't even remember the thing after you do your run. I don't do any warm-ups or exercises with my hands for fingerboarding. Apparently, some people do calisthenics. The rules are pretty much you want to use 2 fingers. You'll have maybe 30 seconds or a minute or so, and you just do a run, and there will be a whole bunch of judges. They'll judge you on consistency, style, the tricks you do. It's like really high pressure. You can't even really put it into words. It's a crazy kind of feeling and atmosphere when so many people get together from all over the world, all over the country, and some of them, it's like a really, really big deal to them. Like, that's the only thing they wanted to do all year. It just makes me super happy because I can barely believe that I'm the reason they're there, like, because of something that I set up and that I'm doing.
My job is actually 24 hours a day to take care of my hands.
I'm definitely very cautious with my hands. I'm more careful, more delicate with my movements.
I get manicures fairly frequently. I don't do them myself.
My name is Ellen Surratt.
Susan Shell.
Tom Nico, and I am
I'm a hand model.
I got noticed as a hand model after I was featured in a jewelry shoot for a magazine at the jewelry company I was working at.
One day I was on a commercial shooting in Central Park, and they picked me to do all the hand shots because the hand model never showed up. Probably most of us fall into it by accident.
I'm always in these upside down positions and having to have the director on top of me or underneath me.
You're being asked to do the most natural things in the most unnatural ways.
Sometimes I am in weird positions.
For my oddest hand shoot, I had to pretend to chop a live human placenta.
I had to do this one thing where I had to be on Howard Stern's kind of naked body.
He says to me, look, we're going to try something different. I want you to stick your thumb in the girl's mouth. I've been a hand model around 19 years. It's been great. I've been very lucky.
I feel like I'm gonna do this till I'm 90. My hands are gonna look great, and I love doing it, and you always need a hand that looks really good.
Your hands are really dexterous things. We use them every day for all sorts of tasks. To make the best use we possibly can of that is to build a puppet around the hand so knuckles become knees or elbows. But at the end of the day, it's all the illusion of movement. My name's Barnaby Dixon. I'm a puppeteer. Is that all right? I'm 26 years old and I started making puppets 2 years ago. This is Dab Chick. This is the first puppet I ever made. This is Manu, and it takes 2 hands to operate this puppet. And this is the dinosaur. I think this is the most expressive puppet that I have. I make them in my room, really. Each of these puppets represents maybe 2 months' work, and it's a process that's driven completely by trial and error. The materials to make these puppets, I usually can just get them online, raw bits of metal or plumber's epoxy, just things like that, really. Hey, Barnaby Dixon here. I made the puppets originally with the purpose to create video content on YouTube. So check this out. Most weeks I'll take Dab Chick out for an outing where I'll film it.
Ah, the great British seaside. Soft, wet sand, oh joy of joys.
I always do try and make them funny.
The proud fury of the waves thundering to balls.
I do get self-conscious about having the puppets out and about. Some people just think I'm an adult playing with a toy. People kind of don't know what to think of it.
Wunderbares nämlich Barnaby. Hallo. Hey. So recently I was on a German talent show that was about puppets. It was called Die Puppenstars. And I ended up winning this. It was very validating, and so I think, yeah, a lot of people would think it's quite a weird thing for a 26-year-old to be in his bedroom making puppets. But it's working out for me, so, ha!
When I perform on stage, I'm in my own world. The only thing going through my head is that nothing else exists but the trick I'm doing. In that current moment, the yo-yo flings up in the air, goes under my leg. It's being bounced back and forth between the strings, whipping sideways, horizontally. The way I express myself on stage comes out, and I love that feeling where you could kind of be free. When I'm not on stage, I'm a graphic designer living in Los Angeles. Most of the year, I'm just like any typical recent grad trying to figure out what to do with their life. But come summer, I'm preparing to be the best yo-yo performer at the World Yo-Yo Contest. My name is Ben Condi. I am a professional yo-yo player, and I'm ranked #1 in North America in the off-string division. I think people think yo-yos are incredibly simple, but it's gone a long way since being a toy that goes up and down, and now there's all these new elements to it. Many people don't know there are 5 styles of yo-yo. There's one-handed yo-yo, there's two-handed responsive yo-yo, two-handed unresponsive yo-yo, counterweight yo-yo, and off-string yo-yo, which is what I specialize in. It's riskier. It's the riskiest division, in my opinion, because of the fact that it can fall off the string. For the past 19 years, I've been working on yo-yo tricks, trying to figure out what tricks to do. That's half the battle. Because you're performing those tricks to music, one of the hardest parts is telling a story through your music, giving the right energy, and work on making something flow. It's a lot of hard work that you put into it, and any split second of losing focus, it seems like a whole year's of work goes to waste. I have to prove that I'm not going to waste the audience's time, and for people to respond positively towards it, that I can't thank the sport enough. I started playing yo-yo when I was 4 years old, and it's something I care about. It's not something I do for money. It's a toy. It's a toy at simplest form, and I just happened to be competing with it for a really long time and spending a lot of time learning. In the end, it's something that makes me feel comfortable. It keeps me youthful. It reminds me of what I would be playing with as a kid.